Welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Ajay Chandel from Mittal School of Business, lovely professional university, Punjab. I'm going to present before you Module 3 titled Strategic Planning in Marketing under the paper Tourism and Hospitality Marketing. After completing this module, you will be able to understand the concept of strategic planning, strategic directions, and strategy formulation. Understand the importance of strategic planning in marketing. Understand the strategic marketing planning. Strategic planning and introduction. Strategic planning is to a business what a map is to an explorer. It is a tool that defines the routes that when taken will lead the business from where it is at any given point of time to where business's stakeholders want it to reach. Just like the journey of an explorer, strategic plans usually meet detours and obstacles that call for adapting and adjusting the strategic plan as the plan is implemented. Strategic planning brings the mission and vision of an enterprise to life. A well-crafted strategic plan drives from the top to the bottom, continuously screens the internal and external environment in and around the business, is worked upon by the managers of the business, is communicated to all the business stakeholders, both inside and outside of the company. As the company grows larger in size and diversifies in its operations, the need for strategic planning becomes greater. Increased competition and complex business environment further intensifies the need for strategic planning. It has been seen that the companies consistently applying a disciplined approach to strategic planning are better prepared to respond to increased competition, market changes, and to the needs and preferences of different market segments. The benefit of the discipline that develops from the process of strategic planning leads to improved communication, which facilitates effective decision making, better selection of tactical options, and leads to a higher probability of achieving the owner's or stakeholders' goals and objectives. Benefits of strategic planning. Strategic planning helps organizations to be proactive rather than reactive. A strategic plan allows organizations to predict or speculate the future trends and helps to be future ready accordingly. Strategic planning enables companies to anticipate certain unfavorable scenarios before they actually take place and take necessary precautionary steps to avoid or better combat with them. With a strong strategic planning at place, organizations can be proactive rather than merely reacting to situations as they arise during the course, which under certain circumstances can be fatal to the sustainability of the organization. Being proactive allows organizations to keep up with the ever-changing trends in market trends and always stay one step ahead of the competition, thereby contributing toward the long-term financial sustainability of the firm. Strategic planning sets up a sense of direction for the organization. A carefully crafted strategic plan helps define the direction and path an organization must pursue. It also helps in establishing specific, measurable, and realistic objectives and goals that are in line with the vision and mission of the organization. In other words, strategic planning offers the much needed foundation for an organization to grow. It even helps organizations to evaluate their performance, compensate its employees, and establish boundaries for efficient decision making. Strategic planning increases operational efficiency. A strategic plan provides management the strategic roadmap to align the organization's functional activities to achieve agreed upon goals. Well-crafted strategic plan guides management in determining resource and budget requirements to accomplish organizational objectives, thereby increasing operational efficiency. It helps to increase market share and profitability. A dedicated strategic plan helps organizations get valuable insights on new market trends, emerging consumer segments, as well as may fuel up new product and service developments, which in turn may affect their success. A meticulous strategic approach, which is targeted and well strategized to turn all sales and marketing efforts into excellent execution, can help increase profitability and market share. It can increase business longevity. A business may be booming one year and in debt the next. With constantly changing industries and world markets, organizations that lack a strong foundation, focus, and long-term perspective will have trouble. As per research findings, one of every 3 companies that are leaders in their industry today might not be there in coming 5 years. But those that have a strong strategic plan in place to meet the uncertainties have a sustainable future. Levels of strategic planning. Strategic formulation hence takes place at 3 organizational levels, which are discussed below. Corporate strategy. This level of strategic planning helps determine what businesses and industries an organization should be in or wants to be in. Corporate strategic planning also determines direction an organization must follow to reach its vision and define the roles and responsibilities that each business unit in organization's portfolio must perform to excel in the given industry. Business strategy. This level of strategic planning helps determine how an organization in industries each of its businesses is a part of should compete. However, it must be remembered that for a medium or small organization dealing in only one line of business or a large organization that has not diversified into distinct product lines or markets, the business level strategic planning typically overlaps with organizations' corporate level strategic planning. Functional strategy. This level of strategic planning helps determine how to support the business strategy by effective implementation. For most of the organizations that have traditional functional structure with functional areas like production, manufacturing, marketing, human resource management, research and development, and finance, functional level strategic plans need to support the business strategy. Strategic planning. Strategic marketing is a planning process that helps an organization to establish a clear direction and unified goal for all its marketing efforts. Strategic marketing planning involves aspects of promotion and marketing. The aspects that contribute to strategic marketing planning include identifying and evaluating various marketing and promotional opportunities, identifying, researching, and analyzing the target markets, developing a defensible strategic position for the company to secure a better financial position, successful formulation and implementation of the marketing plan, which thereafter is followed by measuring and evaluating the results of the marketing efforts of the company. Strategic planning in marketing. Strategic planning in marketing is no different than strategic planning at any other organizational front and involves multiple stages. The stages are as discussed below. Defining the organization's mission. An organization's mission is the unique reason of its existence and defines the scope of its operations in terms of products, markets, and technology. Areas pertaining to defining the scope of the business include customer groups to be targeted, products to be developed and offered, and the technology involved. A well-crafted mission considers various dimensions of a company's relationship with its stakeholders and includes aspects like time, purpose, and direction. It should be a conclusive statement of why the company exists in a particular business, how it intends to sustain, and also the kind of resources the business will need to perform. In a nutshell, a mission statement helps defining the business domain in terms of three dimensions: the customer groups that will be served, the customer needs that will be met, the technology that will satisfy these needs. Strategic and marketing analysis. The stage consists of three components: marketing audit and SWOT analysis. Strategic planning begins with marketing auditing. It is strategic audit that enables strategies to arrive at an evaluation of environmental opportunities as well as threats. It also helps evaluate internal capabilities and resources and resource bundles of an organization. The three major components of a marketing audit are external and internal environmental analysis, evaluation of past performance and present activities, identification of future opportunities and threats. Simplest possible way to perform marketing audit can be using SWOT analysis. Here, the manager prepares two lists. An SW list describes the company and the main strengths and weaknesses of the product, and an OT list describing the chief opportunities and threats. Strengths and weaknesses are factors internal to the company, for they can be controlled by an organization, whereas opportunities and threats are external factors, for they describe forces external to the company or beyond its control. A manager must begin with the identification and listing of future opportunities and threat. The basic question confronting organization here is to ask, what are the attractive opportunities that can be tapped by the organization with its current bundle of resources and skills? The aim here is to speculate or forecast the market potential for a firm's products in terms of market needs and preferences that are not being fully satisfied by the existing product mix. The opportunities can be of three kinds: additive. An additive opportunity exploits already existing organizational resources without changing the fundamental nature of a business. A hotel targeting family households or individual customers as its prospective customers, when extends its marketing to commercial customers, can be one of such examples. Complementary. A complementary opportunity will change the fundamental nature of the business. It happens when a complementary opportunity, when combined with the present business situation, results into a new, total but larger than the sum of its parts kinds of business situation. Breakthrough. A breakthrough opportunity, on the other hand, changes the fundamental economic nature and capacity of the business. Similarly, an organization must identify and review the threats it might face in future while tapping the opportunities. If an organization couldn't identify any significant threat or challenge ahead, it's surely up for a real trouble in future. A threat is a business challenge posed by an unfavorable external incident or any environmental development that would lead to a decline in sales or profit, and hence business's financial viability if appropriate defensive actions are not taken in time. Once external factors like opportunities and threats have been discussed and prioritized, keeping the resource bundle into consideration, there is the time for identifying and analyzing internal environmental analysis. This analysis is performed so as to evaluate if the firm's existing resource bundle and skills or capabilities can be used to tap the identified opportunities. All identified opportunities might not be possible to take on in dearth of suitable resources. No organization in a given industry is fortunate enough to not to have any weakness. Weaknesses come in different forms and might be the result of internal inefficiencies. For example, a weakness could be inability of an organization's functional areas to work as a team, leading to interdepartmental conflicts, leading to inefficiencies at several fronts. Weaknesses cannot be totally eliminated, but at its best can be identified in time and minimized. Competitor analysis. Today's market environment is characterized by intense competition. Organizations face an increased threat from competitors, which is further intensified by ever-changing technology and tastes and preferences of customers. The business environment today is more volatile than ever and is characterized by higher levels and an ever-increasing intensity of competition. Organizations, in quest to have a competitive edge, pace of innovation speeding up, strategic alliances becoming more frequent, and geographic sources of competition are becoming wider in wake of globalization. Competitors' analysis seeks to enhance an organization's understanding of competitive advantage or disadvantage relative to its competitors' market position, help deepening an organization's insights into competitors' past, present, and future strategies, helps providing an informed basis for developing future strategies to have sustainable competitive advantage over the organization's competitors. Customer analysis. Strategic planning is ultimately guided by an organization's capabilities to identify the tastes and preferences of its customers in the wake of changes in market trends and instilling these insights into the development of products and services that pull customers then having need to be pushed into the market. In the customer analysis, the strategic planner has to examine the following details about customer: the buying roles to identify the decision-making unit in households, type of buying behavior showcased based upon customers' demographics, geography, psychographics, and behavior, the buying decision process, type of purchasing, centralized versus decentralized, factors influencing the buying behavior, external and internal, factors influencing industrial buying behavior, strategic directions and strategy formulation. Strategic direction and strategy formulation stage consists of 3 steps. These steps are discussed below. Goals and objectives. If making as much profit as possible is an organization's objective, it is merely stating a self-fulfilling prophecy. To be useful and motivate people to accomplish it, an objective must have a certain degree of formality in its formulation. Corporate objectives are some of the most important and wide objectives formulated at the top level. These are typically influenced by several issues, including the nature of the business, products, market, and technology, external factors, societal values, pressure groups, government and legislation, organizational culture, individuals and groups within the organization. Identifying objectives is half work done, and a strategist must ensure that these set of objectives must fulfill 4 most significant criteria as discussed below. Objectives are arranged in hierarchical manner. Objectives are quantitatively expressed to be able to be measurable once accomplished. Objectives must be realistic. Objectives should have internal consistency. Once these criteria have been satisfied, organization proceeds with formulating strategies to achieve the agreed objectives. Market segmentation, targeting, and positioning. A well-crafted market segmentation, targeting, and positioning plays a significant role in effective marketing planning. A single product or marketing approach might not appeal to the needs and wants of a wider group of potential customers, carrying different set of characteristics. Since customers vary amongst each other in various characteristics, this variation calls for strategists to categorize buyers on the basis of both micro and macro level variables. A carefully segmented market should enable a strategist to identify those segments which represent the most attractive target groups. In deciding the focus of the marketing effort, the strategist needs to consider 3 important elements: the size and growth potential of each of the segments, the structural attractiveness of different segments, the organization's objectives and resources required to target these segments well. Once decisions related to market coverage have been taken, the strategists then need to consider positioning the organization, its products, its product range and brand within each target segment to be relevant to each target group. A well-conceived and properly implemented segmentation, targeting, and positioning can contribute to a truly effective marketing program. Marketing strategies are dependent on business unit plans, which in turn depend upon the corporate strategies. At the corporate level, the decisions made are concerned principally with the strategic plans at corporate level and how best to build a business that lasts competitively, that lasts competitive breakthroughs and environmental changes. Strategic formulation involves a series of decisions related to resource allocation to individual business units according to the business unit's needs and objectives. Finally, the marketing plans are developed at the product level. It is must to be understood that corporate strategies need to be developed first. The corporate management at top level has four major dimensions of planning. A. Definition of the business mission, reason of existence. Since business mission has already been discussed in the stage of strategic planning process, the section will discuss strategic business units in detail. B. Establishing the company's SBU, portfolio of strategic business units. Once business mission is defined, the strategist then defines the organization's strategic business unit, SBU. Many large companies have several related, unrelated businesses which can be defined in terms of customers, product, market, and technology. For example, ITC is a prominent tobacco giant which has the following business units: ITC Group of Hotels, ITC Agro Foods, Edible Oils, etc., ITC Infotech, ITC Lifestyle Retailing, Wills Sport, ITC Bhadrachalam, Paper and Paperboards, and ITC Greeting Cards through expressions. And lately, ITC has added another strategic business unit by entering into rupees 800 crores matchbox markets. Each of these businesses require their own strategy to succeed in their respective strategic markets. An SBU has three basic characteristics. It is either a single business or collection of related businesses that can be planned separately from the rest of the organization. Each business unit might have its own set of competitors. Each business unit has its separate management headed by a leader who is responsible for strategic planning and profit performance. Business portfolio evaluation. Each business unit in business portfolio is funded to achieve its financial and non-financial objectives. To analyze the present position and growth potential of these units, two of the best known business portfolio models that are used widely are Boston Consulting Group Matrix or Growth Share Matrix. BCG Matrix, commonly known as Growth Share Matrix, is a portfolio analysis tool that involves a corporate's different SBUs being plotted on a matrix according to the rate of market growth and their relative market share relative to that of the largest competitors. Stars are those products which have moved to the position of leadership in a high growth market. Strategy to be followed: build. Short-term earnings are forsaken for long-term returns with an objective to increase the SBU's market share. Followed for question marks. Are businesses operating in high growth markets but with a low relative market share? Strategy to be followed: build or divest. Question marks can be future stars. Question marks with high potential must be built. If in spite of repeated attempts to revamp a question marks don't perform, a question mark does not perform, it might become a dog and hence must be divested. C. Cash cows are those stars whose rate of market growth begins to fall. Strategy to be followed: hold or harvest. Hold is used for cash cows with an objective to maintain current market share, while harvest is used for weak cash cows, which might involve increasing short-term cash flows as far as possible, even at the expense of SBU's long-term future. D. Dogs are those businesses that have a weak market share in a low growth market. Strategy to be followed: divest. To rid the organization of SBUs that act as drain on profits, they are divested. General Electric's 9-cell matrix. Another one of the most widely used corporate portfolio analysis techniques is the result of pioneering efforts of General Electric's and McKinsey's consultants, which is known as GE 9-cell matrix. Matrix helps in determining each SBU's strengths and weaknesses and to assess environmental factors that represent risks and opportunities. The business matrix is divided into 9 cells. Each of these 9 cells represent high, medium and low market attractiveness and strong, average and weak business strengths. In the matrix, industry attractiveness is defined in terms of size and growth potential of the market, industry profitability, competitive structure and environmental impact. Organizational strength is market share and growth rate, technological position, image, price competitiveness, product quality, etc. These two portfolio analysis techniques help the strategists to understand the resource allocation for each of the SBUs. After the corporate and business unit or SBU strategy, the marketing plan, which includes marketing strategy, should be developed at the functional level. Identifying new areas for related, unrelated, diversification, market developments. After evaluating the performance of a business's portfolio, the next step is to identify various diversification, related and unrelated, market development or product development opportunities. Tools like ENSOF's matrix can be a mean to identify such opportunities. Market penetration. Market penetration is a strategy followed when a business intends on selling existing products in existing markets. Market penetration helps accomplish 4 main objectives, which are to maintain or increase the market share of current products through competitive pricing, advertising, sales promotion, and by allocating more resources to personal selling. Secure dominance of growth markets. Restructure a mature market by driving out competitors by more aggressive promotional campaigns, supported by a pricing strategy designed to make the market unattractive for competitors. Increase usage by existing customers, for example, by introducing loyalty schemes. Market development. Market development is a growth strategy where the business intends to sell its existing products into new markets. There are many possible ways of approaching this strategy, including entering in new geographical markets, adding cosmetic changes to existing product design or packaging, adding new distribution channels, applying different pricing policies to attract different customers or create new market segments. Product development. Product development is the name given to a growth strategy where a business aims to introduce new products into existing markets. Product development strategy is particularly suitable for businesses where the product needs to be differentiated in order to remain competitive in the wake of aggressive competitive breakthroughs. A successful product development strategy emphasizes upon research and development and innovation, gathering detailed insights into customers' needs, being first to market diversification. This is the growth strategy where a business tries to enter into new markets with entirely new products. This is a very risky strategy as it involves the business to move into markets in which it has never been before or have a very little experience. Strategic choices. Strategic choice stage is comprised of 4 steps. These are product and new product strategies. In developing a product strategy involves emphasizing on 3 interrelated elements of product as following: physical attributes of product including its performance, style and quality, benefits that the product promises and delivers to the buyer, marketing support services such as delivery, installation and after-sales services. A strategically planned product policy is based on an understanding the product life cycle and portfolio analysis. In developing a product strategy, strategic planners must consider previous performance, environmental factors that might impact present and future product performance, and analysis of organizational objectives in light of resources available and corporate capabilities and skills. To effectively meet the needs and preferences of customers and to better compete with industry players, organization must be ready to develop new products. In the majority of industries, there are 2 ways in which new products are added. Acquisition. This happens when an organization buys other firms, buys a license or franchisee, and also when it files for patents. Internal new product development. This happens in 2 ways. One of the way is to develop a product in-house through R&D competencies of the firm, or sometimes getting the product developed by external agencies, outsourcing. Pricing policies and strategies. Pricing decisions are undoubtedly among the potentially most difficult that marketing managers are required to make. For this is the only marketing mix element that generates revenue. Prices are determined by some significant factors like corporate objectives, competitive position in the competitive space, product life cycle, customers and negotiations, government regulations, and also as per industrial consortiums. The promotional plan. Marketing communication is a mean to communicate the product's benefits and points of superiority to the target audience. How the communications program must be managed is therefore one of the most fundamental part of the strategic marketing task. Developing a promotional plan involves designing an optimum promotional mix. An appropriately designed communication mix enables marketing managers to reach to their audience effectively. The distribution plan, an important and increasing part of many organizations' expenditure is incurred in keeping their products and services on the go through appropriate distribution channels. The distribution plan emphasizes upon the set of decisions related to the processes which are concerned with the flow of supplies, intermediaries, and end users. Major decision area in distribution channel management include formulating channel strategy, designing channel structure, selecting and motivating channel members, coordinating channel strategy with the overall marketing mix, and evaluating channel members or partners' performance. Strategic evaluation. Strategic evaluation is an assessment process that enables executives and managers with relevant performance information about programs, projects, and activities designed to meet businesses' goals and objectives. Strategic evaluation basically involves 4 major steps, which involve setting up of benchmarks, measuring actual performance, analyzing variance between the benchmark and the actual performance, and finally taking corrective actions. Strategic implementation and control. Last step of strategic planning is the strategic implementation and control. Strategic implementation is the translation of chosen marketing strategy into organizational action so as to achieve strategic marketing goals and objectives. But as a strategy is being implemented, it must be carefully observed for any anomalies. Strategic control is the technique used for tracking a strategy as it's being implemented. It also enables managers in detecting problems or changes in this strategy and making necessary adjustments. As the company grows larger in size and diversifies in its operations, the need for strategic planning becomes greater. Increased competition and complex business environment further intensifies the need for strategic planning. Strategic planning helps organizations to be proactive rather than reactive. Strategic planning sets up a sense of direction for the organization and increases operation efficiency. Carefully crafted strategic planning helps increasing market share, profitability, and longevity. There are 6 important steps in strategic marketing planning. These are defining the organization's mission, strategic and marketing analysis, strategic directions and strategy formulation, strategic choices, strategic evaluation, strategic implementation and control. Thank you.